What is up, guys, and welcome to the final episode of F1 2017 Career Mode Forever. No, I'm just kidding. This is the end of Season 1. Of course, we're going to be continuing into Season 2, but the goal for today is to finish inside the top 10 for the drivers' standings, and to do that, we need to finish in P5, possibly even P6, but we need to hope that the guys in front of us, both Hulkenberg and Grosjean, don't score any points today for us to be a chance to equalise that 10th place spot. But yeah, here we are for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I can't believe we've made it 20 rounds into this championship, and I've uploaded every single episode back to back, like every single day. I think this is the first time ever on my channel that I've got through an entire career mode series without having a day's break. This is just incredible scene to me. But here we are qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As you can see right now, we're kind of in our usual kind of qualifying pace ahead of the Saubers, but just behind our teammate Fernando Alonso once again. So in case you missed yesterday's episode, we found out some pretty heartbreaking news. All the engine upgrades that we've been applying to our car all season haven't actually been affecting our performance, and now there's an update that's hopefully coming in the next few days or so. Yeah, hopefully that can really boost us, and when it does come out, we should hopefully see a massive increase in performance. And I'm going to touch upon this later, but I'm going to be having a few days break of career mode, just waiting for this update to come out because I don't want to compromise Season 2. But going back to this qualifying session, we're sitting at P18 at the moment, improving by what looks to be 6, maybe 7 tenths as we come across the line. It is 17th place for our middle run in the qualifying session. 3 minutes to go, and we plan to go out again and see if we can bang in another absolute flyer. We only need to find about 2 tenths, and we can get ourselves out of qualifying 1 and in the mix for the midfield. Kevin Magnussen is only 4 tenths in front of us or something like that. So yeah, just a few tenths improvement would do us a world of good. I fast forwarded ever so slightly, but unfortunately I've absolutely killed my chances here. I fast forwarded maybe 5 seconds too much, and we didn't get a final run in at the end of qualifying. I honestly can't believe that. I thought 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever it was would have been enough for us to go out there and do a time right at the death. I wanted to be one of the last cars out there to do a time. I just pushed the boundaries too much, so I can only apologize about that. It's going to be 17th place in qualifying. We're not going to start there because we know that there's going to be a whole mass of grid penalties for the AI. But this means that we haven't got out of qualifying 1 for the entirety of this season. And for me, that's absolutely horrible. I don't think I've ever done that in a career mode, but that just shows how slow this car is. It's time for the race.
Alongside me for one final time this season, it's Anthony Davidson. What a year it's been, Ant. It's been an absolute pleasure. And now, how are you feeling ahead of Lights Out tonight?
Well, it's been a breathtaking year of F1 action, and there's one more sting in the tail to come here tonight, I reckon. We've been all around the world, but there's still everything to fight for, and what an occasion it is as well. There's a real sense of anticipation every time we come here to Abu Dhabi, and here's hoping it's a fitting end to a very special season.
Okay, last race of the season, and we still have a chance of winning the Constructors. Let's bring this home.
Are you for real, Jeff? What are you smoking? Are you stuck in the 80s or something? Because McLaren Honda is definitely not going for the Constructors title today. But welcome to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're on the grid for the final race here, and hopefully we can put in a absolutely awesome performance to get us inside the top 10 for the championship. That would be an amazing achievement for a car that is way too slow to belong in a position like that. We're 9th in the Constructors. We're the 2nd slowest car. We should be around about 17th place in the driver's standings. In all honesty, we've just had some very lucky results go our way, and that has made our season look a lot better than what it has been. But here we are, lining up on the grid for the final time in Season 1, 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the finale of Season 1. It's not been a great start, outdragged by the Saubers as we head into Turn 1. Hopefully we can get him back though, as it looks like a few cars are squabbling up ahead. Not the best traction though through Turn 1, and we make contact, with Lewis Hamilton through Turns 2 and 3. Lewis gets the better of us though, and we drop back down to P10. So it's not been a great start. A lot of people around me are on the ultra soft tyres. Only, oh my goodness, Kvyat Mr. Torpedo himself. He's not happy about me being ahead of him on the track. But yeah, going back to the race strategy, everyone, literally 15, 16 cars in this field are on the ultra soft tyres. The rest of us brave souls are on the supers, looking to do the one stop. I was weaving on the straight there because I thought maybe I had some front wing damage and it wasn't coming up on the screen, but I think the car is fine as we go back up the inside of Daniel Kvyat there into the middle sector. We cut on to the next lap, I believe it is. A Force India is having a go into the same straight, and we getting back in the braking zone. Now, apparently this car doesn't have any engine upgrades on it. I actually thought that we were making some really solid progress in that area. It must just be the fact that this, you know, this car is holding its own for the most part because we've got fresher engines versus the AI. That's got to be what it is. But lap 3, we made some pretty heavy contact with Pascal Wehrlein, I think it is, and we've lost a bit of our front wing. Very unfortunate. Pascal just came over way too far in his line, and yeah, we've got some front wing damage, which is ultimately going to make this car a lot slower than what it already is. It's going to be a real struggle from here. We lock up heading into the braking zone of the middle of the two straights there. We lose a spot to Wehrlein, but we managed to hold on to the position from Ocon. There's yellow flags being displayed in that sector, and I think that might have been because of us, because we went off, but I'm not entirely sure. I cycled through all the replays in this section of this race, and I could not see anything that could have warranted a local yellow there. So it must have been the kerfuffling between us. But lap 4, we're doing our best to hold on now with the broken front wing. Ocon flies past us. Pretty much no points in trying to fight him now, so we're just going to tuck in and just try and make it to the first pit stop if we can, and then hope for a safety car later on in the day. Sainz! Are you serious? Carlos Sainz is just parked in the middle of the racetrack, and I was completely unsighted. I was watching what all the other cars were doing. I just noticed it was a yellow flag right at the end there, but I was distracted. I didn't foresee the Toro Rosso driver just sitting in the middle of the racetrack, and everything just happened so fast, and I didn't have time to react. So, yeah, we've lost pretty much all of our front wing now, and while I was in photo mode getting the thumbnail for this video, I accidentally pressed the flashback button, and so I lost a little bit less time than what I would have if I would have just continued from where I paused it. But we're into the pits now, and our race is essentially over. We're going to be probably half a lap down versus the people we should be racing in this Grand Prix. We're going to have a mammoth of a job ahead of us to get back in this race. We ultimately need a safety car, but for the next, I don't know, 10, 15 laps, I'm just going to be circulating and seeing if the safety car does come out. That's why I've gone for the soft compound tyres. I'm hoping I can play the long game and try and stay on the lead lap and just hope for a safety car to come out. But as we rejoin in the action on lap 8 here, you can see we emerge in front of Max Verstappen, which I found very surprising. I thought I lost shed loads of time in that lap 4 incident, but turns out as people continued to pit in this first stint, we were actually finding positions, and that really awoken me again. I kind of got back on the pace. I kind of thought, okay, we're not completely out of this Grand Prix yet. Well, let's just keep pushing and see what we can make of this race now. We are on the soft compound tyres, and if I believe my maths is correct, I think we might be able to go to the end of this race. So this kind of survival strategy has just turned into a viable one where we could potentially go to the end on a one-stop, but we're going to be very compromised in terms of the tyre wear from here. So we're going to give it a shot. If a safety car does come out, though, we will be diving into the pits and putting on a set of ultra soft tyres. Now, we're going to have to do a lot of defending, just like that, like we're doing there to Nico Hülkenberg for the rest of this race. There's going to be a lot of cars who pit and rejoin behind us, and we're going to have to, defend like mad in order to keep the cars behind. That's a massive slide through the hotel section. That looked so good on replay camera. Not so fun when you're driving the car and trying to look after the rear tyres. But, hey, style points for trying, I guess. Again, defending from the Renault into the braking zone. It seems like there's just enough grunt in this engine to keep us, side by side with our competitors if they try and overtake us. That's literally all the horsepower we can muster. Hopefully once these upgrades come, we can actually defend from people and not have to worry about being overtaken on straights, and maybe do some overtaking of our own. Because it's all well and good trying to defend and hold on to position fine, but when you go for a move and try to overtake someone else, that's when the difficulties arise, and that's where we really feel like we're lacking in performance in a straight line, because we can't overtake anyone, so we just have to rely on the technical parts of the track, like the third sector, where we seem to be fairly strong this weekend. But Fernando is in the pits. He's done the full recommended length on his super soft tyres, and he is going to be running his soft compound tyres to the end of the race now. Just 14 laps to go for him. He rejoins last out of all the runners, but to be honest, I think he might be rejoining pretty close to us by the end of the Grand Prix. He's going to have fresher tyres, a bit better pace than me, so watch out for a potential battle between myself and Alonso near the end of the Grand Prix. I think he will catch me up. But Magnussen overtook us while I was talking about the strategy for Alonso. That Haas, for whatever reason this season, has been very, very strong. They've been getting results that they really don't deserve, or you wouldn't expect from their car performance. They're only a slight bit quicker than us, maybe 2 or 3 upgrades ahead of us, and I've seen them get top 5s, top 4s. I think I might have even seen Grosjean get a podium at one stage, or something very close to that. So the Haas is a surprising little package there. It's a real dark horse in this season. But lap 17, more people are pitting. I think that's a Red Bull on the left-hand side. He rejoins just in front of us as I was getting held up by Pascal Wehrlein. So it's P18 for the moment with 11 laps to go in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I'm looking, left, right, and centre to try and find a way around Pascal Wehrlein. He's just really slow in the corners, especially the slow-speed stuff where our chassis of this McLaren really shines through, but we lose so much time in the middle sector simply due to those straights. And the car isn't that great in high speed. We lose a little bit of time, and that's mainly down to the tyre wear at this stage. But I'm working overtime. I'm doing everything I can in the third sector to get close to Pascal, but we lose a bit of time on this start-finish straight there, but we make it up through the left-right bit, and then especially coming into this bit here at the first sector split. This is where we are supremely quicker than Wehrlein. We're closer than we've ever been, so I think we might go for a dive here into the hairpin. Yes, we do, into P16, and that is the first overtake I think I've made all race. Apart from that, we've had to do a lot of defending in this Grand Prix, and it was really timely as well that we got in front of Wehrlein, because Alonso was catching me. It was probably a couple corners away from overtaking myself there. So good to put a car in between myself and him at that stage, because Alonso was pretty much on the charge. And here he goes, just a few seconds later, up the inside of Pascal Wehrlein, and that is another spot for the Spaniard. So next on his hit list is me, and before he could even catch me, he got caught up by Nico Hülkenberg, who made a stop just a few laps ago. So now it's down to myself to A, not lose the position to Hülkenberg, but B, not lose too much time in the process trying to defend him. Now, holding on to P15 is quite crucial for us because it's the team target that they set for us, and I was really looking to hold on to this position. I did the absolute best I could under brakes. Was just a bit too, I was just a bit too ambitious into that braking zone. I asked way too much of the tyres and what they could give at that stage. The tyres are really going out the window there, and Hülkenberg got away, and now we're pretty much under threat from Alonso now as we head on to lap 25. We've got one of the Haas drivers in the form of Magnussen going around the outside of Alonso too. He might get me possibly into the chicane. No, he doesn't quite get me. He might even lose the spot to Alonso as well. Yes, he did, because he was on the outside and kind of displaced and in an awkward position heading into that chicane. So Alonso still hanging in there. He's going side by side once again as K-Mag tries the attempt once again. This is very shoddy camera work from me there. But K-Mag gets a position, and he now moves into P17 with just 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. He's going to be very eager to get in front of me as well. We have one of the Saubers with a problem on that back straight there. I think it was Marcus Ericsson, and he was basically limping back to the pits. 27, Magnussen up the inside on his super soft tyres. He's got superior grip, he's got superior traction, superior everything at this stage, and we're just using our 800 kilo or whatever it is F1 car just as a mobile chicane to try and make him go the long way around and just slow him up to see if I can hold on to the position. We go for a lunge up the inside into the chicane once again. And it is very, very messy with the dive there, but we got the position back in the process. It's just sheer desperation at this point. We're fighting for 0 points here. It's really just a case of pride to see who can finish higher in the Grand Prix. I want as many positions as what I can get. We've got Sebastian Vettel, who wins the final race of the season. And in the process, he put Fernando Alonso a lap down. Unfortunately, he didn't lap K-Mag. So for the next lap now, we're going to have a bit of a problem now because we've got the Ferrari who's hard and charging and very fast, but they're also on their cooldown lap. But they're not exactly cooling down, are they? Because they're literally faster than us on the final lap. We're still racing for position. It's outrageous. So I decided to let Vettel go through. There were no blue flags, by the way. I just didn't want him in my way, and I had to swerve to have the inside. I cut K-Mag off. I've lost everything there into the chicane, cut the corner, and rejoined just behind Vettel. It's all really messy here on this last lap of the Grand Prix. Vettel should be celebrating. Instead, he's putting his car at risk, getting involved in this fight in the midfield. Raikkonen is there as well, just to add more complications to the mix. But yeah, it's been a really messy final lap, and I can only apologise about that. But at this point, we're only doing it for entertainment. We're only doing it to annoy Kevin Magnussen and stay in front of him at this point. But through the final corner, it's going to be 16th place and a very disappointing end to a pretty disappointing season.
Alright, I know it's been a rough year, but let's try to stay positive. Even the greats had some poor seasons, so we'll knuckle down over the winter and come back stronger next time.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more.
So there we go. That is the end of Season 1 of F1 2017 Career Mode. In the end, we didn't get the grandstand finish we were after. At 16th place, no points today. It was really just damage limitation after, well, one, the contact with the front wing with, I think it was one of the Saubers, and then we really got finished off when Sainz was just parked in the middle of the racetrack and we just went clattering right into his side pod. But we did really well to recover from that position anyway. P16, I thought we were going to be last for all money. The fact that we were close to cars and actually had a decent race of things was kind of a testament to our, not only tyre wear, but kind of race pace and consistency. I was not expecting to be that close and that much in the fight with a lot of the AI in that race. We were fighting away with Max Verstappen at one point, so was not expecting that. But in the end, it is 11th place in the driver standings. I think this is by far the worst season I've ever had in F1 20 whatever career mode. We've had, seasons in the Manor, we've had seasons in the HRT where we've even won the championship, and I don't think I've ever finished outside the top 10. So this is definitely an interesting result, shall we say. But that's just how hard this game is, and how brutal it has been on us. We've got a massive bank of resource points now, 2,400, and we're going to be spending pretty much all of those after we talk to Emma, who has some contract news to give us. We have some offers from some other teams. So we're going to spend some resource points after this. We unlocked the first driver bonus, doing one race as the first driver, and from now on we'll get like a 5% bonus for future races. So that is Season 1, done and dusted. Let's talk to Emma and see what potential contract offers we have for Season 2.
Quick question. How are you here? Are you happy? I mean, obviously, I hope so, but you do have some other options if you're up for a new challenge. Let me just grab the door. I had a call from another team a few weeks ago. And, well, things have moved on since then. These are the offers I've managed to put together for you. You don't have to do anything with them, but let me know what you think.
So, yeah, after our, I don't know, I'd say impressive performance in the McLaren, we do have some offers. Williams, Renault, and Toro Rosso. Yeah, I can't believe we got the offer from Williams, to be honest. Best of the rest in terms of the midfield. But you guys know me. We're going to be sticking with this McLaren Honda until we win the championship. So it's a no from me. for Williams, for Renault, and Toro Rosso, we will be staying with this team, and with the massive bank of resource points that we have to spend for the end of the season, we might be pretty darn close to those guys anyway. So, end of season, that's the message you get. Just basically tells you where you were in the drivers and the constructors, basically congratulating you for your achievements over the course of the season. And I've got to say, with the equipment that we had, I think we did a pretty good job. We managed to break away ever so slightly from Sauber, made some probably slight gains on the rest of the midfield, but with those upgrades and that upgrade path, it's a bit ambiguous as to how much gain you actually made in terms of performance, because there are some, reliability and almost like consistency kind of upgrades, durability and stuff as well in there to throw into the mix, so it's hard to see how much actual performance you've gained, but we've gone 100% solely for performance, so we're definitely a lot closer than when we started the career mode. But with the 2,400 resource points, we decided to spend 900 on weight reduction, and we're going to spend the final 1,200 on a major upgrade to the engine power, more specifically the intercooler, and that is going to take about 4 weeks to come into fruition. Now, I thought originally I wasn't going to see those upgrades until like China, Russia, but apparently any upgrades you do before the season ends will automatically go on the car if they're successful for the start of season 2. So it was really good to get those major upgrades in just before the season 2 started, because they'll go straight on the car.
Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
And now I welcome you to season 2. A brief little look and insight into what season 2 is potentially going to be like. We got both of our upgrades pass. That's massive. That is absolutely massive, especially for the engine, which was originally going to take 4 weeks, and I wasn't expecting it until like Russia or something crazy like that. We spent 1,600 resource points, no, 1,200 resource points on that, and the fact that they both passed is a massive step in the right direction for season 2. Gives us a lot of momentum. We're so close in terms of raw power compared to Sauber, but bear in mind that they might have some fuel efficiency upgrades which makes their engine look better than ours, but in theory we will most likely be faster than those guys. We've got like 80% or 78% worth of power upgrades on the car, so I'd hazard a guess as to when Codemasters fix the engine glitch for this McLaren, we're going to be faster than a lot of cars in the field in terms of, raw power. So I'm really looking forward to that. And in terms of the chassis, we're now the 4th best car. So that is absolutely massive news. And when we come to tracks like Singapore and Monaco, we're going to be looking to maximize our performances there. So the potential for Season 2 is absolutely massive. And because of this, I want to wait a few more days before we get stuck into Season 2. I want to wait for this patch to come out that actually validates our engine upgrades and so they actually work. And I also want to potentially wait and hold off and see if the update to the car performance brings McLaren closer to the front of the field, because the McLaren in the game is slower than the McLaren in real life, and just a small buffering up towards the midfield will make a huge difference to this career mode as well. So that's why I want to hold off and give myself the best possible chance of succeeding in Season 2, because I have some very ambitious plans and targets that I'm setting myself for this second season. So hopefully you guys understand that, and let's hopefully make Season 2 the best season of career mode I've ever had on an F1 game. It's certainly looking like that. F1 2017 is just really, really awesome for career mode, and I want to make it the best it can possibly be. But that has been the end of Season 1, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Every single episode has got within like over 100k views in a single day. That's absolutely mad. You guys continue to smash it, and so I just could not go a day without uploading career mode, at least for the first season. So hopefully you have enjoyed Season 2. It's going to be lit, and I can't wait to get it started. So until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until Season 2, I'll see you next time.